Hi, this is Father Trey Nelson, pastor of St. Jude the Apostle Catholic Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with your weekly summertime reflection. Today is Wednesday, June 17th. The gospel of the day is Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 6 and 16 through 18. Now, if you had a chance to go to Mass today or to look at the readings online or in some other form, you will notice right away that this gospel is read every single year on Ash Wednesday. It's how we always begin the season of Lent. In it, Jesus makes three statements about being sincere and authentic. The first, take care not to perform righteous deeds just for others to see them. Secondly, when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites who love to stand and pray simply to be seen and heard. And lastly, he talks about fasting. And when he says, when you fast, you are to not look gloomy like the hypocrites do. Now, if you're like me, for us as Catholics, we often associate fasting with Lent, but fasting would be something to consider throughout the whole year at times, perhaps. The past 2 to 3 months, probably like most of you, if not all of you, with everything that's going on in the world, our country, and then in our own personal lives, I've often found myself pretty overwhelmed by it all. I found that the only way to achieve a sense of peace in the midst of a pandemic, violence, protesting, and so on, and things going on, for example, in my own family, the only way to maintain a sense of peace is to step away from everything, sit down alone, to be quiet and to breathe, and to pray, and to breathe out what worries me, and to breathe in what God wants to give me and needs to give me. However, knowing that this was going to be the gospel for the day today, I'm going to make a suggestion. It may seem to you to be out of the ordinary, and perhaps even to some it may seem silly. But consider this. Fasting is not just a Lenten thing. Fasting in any form has as its purpose drawing us into a greater awareness of God's presence in our lives, drawing us into an awareness of our dependence on God, and basically strengthening our relationship with Christ. So it occurred to me yesterday that in order to even take that sense of peace a little more deeply, one step further, however you want to word that, a little fasting might be in order. Now, to be sure, fasting often has to do with something material or physical, but sometimes people say, well, at Lent, I'm going to fast and I'm also going to lose weight. But that's not the purpose of it. Again, the purpose of fasting in any form is to draw us into a deeper relationship with Christ. There are many things we could fast from. I know, for example, if I told my nephew, you need to fast from video gaming or Fortnite, he'd probably laugh me right out of the room. But we fast from things that are material and physical, sometimes substances, but we can also fast from technology, social media, you name it. And we don't always fast or give up something that is bad for us. Fasting could involve perhaps stepping away from something that is not bad necessarily, but we're going to step away from it momentarily, take a little break from it. Why? Just to make us more aware of God in our lives. If there's one thing I've heard over and over again from people about the past 2 to 3 months, the stay-at-home order, the pandemic, and all of that, is that they say they have learned that there's just a lot that they do not need. We have too much baggage, sometimes we say. So anyway, consider that perhaps for today, during the summer. Is there something that you and I can step away from, say no to for a little while, to bring us more deeply into the presence of God and make us more aware of God's abiding presence and protection and God's presence in our lives? From St. Jude Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, this has been Father Trey Nelson with your weekly summertime reflection. The theme music for these reflections was composed and recorded by Patrick Wallington of St. Jude Parish. The scriptures for today were taken from the Lectionary of Daily Mass, used with permission. Have a great day.